Hello there coders, FoxyCodeDojo here, and today we're going to be working on our Flutter project because now we're finally starting to understand Flutter. We're done with Dart, understanding how to download Flutter, so now we can get into the details. Before we do anything, we'll click on View up here, we'll go to Command Palette, and now we're going to do Flutter Select Device. This will show what device we want to run our project on. I'm going to run my project in an iOS simulator. However, if you feel like it, you can run it on Android simulator or whatnot. However you wish you want to do this, but right now I'm going to be using an iOS simulator. For this, it is crucial that you have installed Xcode prior to doing this. So we open the iOS simulator. And now we run this. Hit the run button. Switch over to the simulator, and we wait. So our app is now running, and we can see we have my cool app, some text, a button. So each of these elements you see are made up of individual widgets. My cool app, this header is a widget, this text is a widget, the bigger text is a widget, this button is a widget. Like if you scroll all the way down, for example, you see this floating action button. That is a widget. So let's do this real quick so we can look at these in parallel. So that's a widget. We see the center widget. We see this text widget. So now, how this works is, as in Dart, you may remember that we have a void main file. Inside it, not file, function. Within that main function, we are running the app, my app. My app is a stateless widget, and we have all of this stuff in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly just delete this all, and we'll start from scratch. So if we save this, this framework.dart opens up. Why? Because we're running into a couple of errors. So first of all, we need to import. Now we need to import Flutter / material.dart. The material package in Flutter is basically a toolbox which gives us access to all the building blocks, all the building widgets we need to create our app and fully flesh it out. So now that we have that, we'll create our void main. We'll have run app. And we'll say my app for now. However, so this my app doesn't exist yet. We're real quick gonna make that. So we're gonna do class my app. And now this is going to extend a pre-built class within the Flutter material package, hence why we need to import it. And it's gonna extend stateless widget. By extending a stateless widget, we've basically got the building blocks of rendering everything to the screen and all that, which is very helpful for us. That way we don't need to manage any of that. So now that we've done that, what do we do next, you may be asking? So first we need to do void build. Well, not void build. We're gonna do, if you look over here, we got build context. We're just gonna real quick click that. So now, since we have widget in front of this function, it expects to return a widget. So inside of this build function, we have this argument which we need to pass, the build context note, which in this case is named context. The build context is very important, but to put it simply, this is basically what tells us the information about our screen and whatnot, which we need to pay attention to. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put in a simple text widget. We'll return text. Oops. And now it'll just be hello world. Simple. And my app, we need to put curly brackets. We could ignore that for now. So now we save this. Const class cannot become non-const class. we need to perform a hot restart. We have a restart right here. Click on that. Throw Flutter error from this. No directionality widget found. So if we try, so now we've encountered an error. We have no directionality widget found. That's because here we're just trying to throw text onto the screen. We need to first create the material app. So we're gonna do material app. And it needs a title. We'll call this my app, and now it needs a body. Or a builder in this case. So now it requires a context. We can ignore the child argument for now. We're getting this error because now we need to return. Now we're going to return text. Hello world. However, we're still getting an error because at the moment it does also want a second parameter. So now with that in mind, we can restart this. We get this hello world on the screen. It looks really ugly, and that's simply because we're just building an app. We haven't done any styling to it, but at least we've got something working. So now instead what we're going to return is going to return a scaffold, and the scaffold has a body. This is where we're going to put in our text. Hello world. There we go. Set the const modifier here to make this happy. And the scaffold basically creates this background and does some of the heavy lifting behind the scenes for us. So it's very important to first have a material app widget, then a scaffold widget before we put any of our content. In this case, it's just our hello world. So now we've gotten just a little bit deeper into Flutter. Now you get the very basic understanding of how these widgets work. And in the next episode, we're going to start by going into how to add multiple widgets at one time, because at the moment, if we try to add another text widget, hello, we get this error. But we'll be covering this very soon. So thank you coders for watching. Foxy Code Dojo.